So this is day 3 of Vlogmas. In the last episode, we talked a little bit about when you're called to lead, you need to lead. And I gave you a quick little story about this seminal moment in my life. Now I'm going to give you 3 simple tips, 3 simple things that you can enact or that you can believe, that you can internalize as it goes towards your leadership and your leadership ability. Hello, I'm Steve Worthy, CEO of Worthy Leadership Group and host of the Worthy Podcast. Once again, this is day 3 of Vlogmas. So tip number 1 that I received from my seminal moment, you have to go back to Vlogmas day 2. And the first tip, and it came from my technical instructor. He said, Worthy, leadership will always find you out. And I didn't really understand that concept because I wasn't really into leadership as a young man. I wasn't into understanding the importance and responsibility associated with leading. And he said, leadership will always find you out. That's number 1, is that even though you may not feel like a leader, there are things inside of you that other people see. There are those intangibles that you may have placed far underneath the veneer of who you are as a person. There may be certain things that you say, that you do, a mannerism or something that you may have and that other people see, which causes them to see you as a leader. So please, that is number 1. Leadership will always find you out, and you have to embrace that. Number 2, and this kind of goes without saying, leadership is not about position. It really isn't. I struggled with that when I transitioned from the military to the private sector, right? I struggled with the idea that just because you had a position that you were in a leadership role, and that is the furthest thing from the truth. One of the things that I often teach people on my team as well, when they're about to take over a different business unit or they're taking over a different operation or somebody who's getting a promotion and moving up to another level, here's the one thing that I always teach them is that even though you may have the position at that point in time, you're not the leader. You're not. There's probably someone else who has a higher level of influence at that level or within that organization or within that business unit that you have to lead away with. Meaning that when you get into that position, you're going to have to present yourself as a leader in such a way, have to take away, and I don't mean forcefully, I mean by leading, take away the overall influence that that person currently has within that role, because you are going to need that level of influence to move forward within that organization. So number 2 is that leadership is not position. Number 3, which is probably the biggest one that for me I had to overcome, because leadership is about 2 things. This is not the point, but I'm going to talk about this probably tomorrow. But leadership is about 2 things. It's either about the reward or the responsibility. Those are the 2 reasons why you're in it, or where you're in it. And the biggest thing about leadership is that you have to understand that it is not about you. It is about the people that you're leading. If you are in, or you desire to be in a leadership role because of the position or because of you think that you're going to get this big reward, you're in it for the wrong reasons and you will be found out. A couple of things that we teach our clients, whether it's in a group or it's in an individual setting, is really try to have a great deal of self-awareness. Having a great deal of self-awareness will help you understand how and when to turn on your superpower. We'll talk about that in a couple of vlogs down the line. But understanding that it is not about you, that everything that you do from a leadership standpoint is about your team and those that you lead. If you are in it for selfish reasons that are not about the team, reasons that are not about helping other people reach their full potential, then you are in leadership for the wrong reasons and you will be found out. So once again, just as a quick recap, number 1, leadership will find you out. Number 2, leadership is not about position. And number 3, leadership is not about you. It's about those you lead. Have a great day. God bless.